Take 74.
This could be the funniest morning I've ever had. It's like a comedy of errors.
Quite possibly.
Everything that could have gone wrong has gone wrong.
Yes.
And we're not starting to think that this is not meant to be. Are we?
No, not at all. We're down to genuine 1984 technology here. We have tried... What have we tried here? We've tried the Canon.
The Canon, I left the battery at home.
We've tried... Well, we tried to make it here in the first place.
Yes. Well, I went to the wrong address.
Yes.
Completely wrong address.
GPS, never trust them.
No, not the GPS. It was the person that typed it in.
No,
But we won't go there.
Tools. Let's blame the tools.
The tools. But then we used the new microphone and someone rang mid-conversation that cut that out.
Yep, that didn't work.
Then we tried Skype.
Then we were going to Skype each other with me in my studio and Angie right here. That didn't work for some reason.
We forgot, we tried using the GoPro.
Oh, of course.
And that started really well.
That was action sports. I thought I was going to be on a Red Bull video clip. It was going to be amazing.
And then we just went dead because the SD card was full and I couldn't get it off the SD card. Anyway.
Here we are.
And we have wellness at heart.
We have wellness at heart and we have an iPhone in front of us.
An iPhone. And I'm feeling frazzled. How are you?
I'm okay.
We need to do an or something. That's much better.
Nice. Calmness in a storm. In fact, this is actually quite indicative of, if
Life.
I use this as a leeway, this is quite indicative of, I spent a good 6-month period in India learning to cultivate mindfulness on atop mountain tops
Oh
in
my God, that is my
loincloths.
dream.
And it was beautiful, it was stunning, and I, quite frankly didn't want to leave, but my challenge came in trying to bring it back into my
into the
everyday.
world.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And this feels like it's quite indicative of that challenge. So here we are trying to create calmness, just
In the
you,
moment.
me, and an iPhone 6.
Yes. I think we've done it. I can feel it wash over me.
Beautiful.
Anyway, we came together for a reason, through a friend, through a
Yes.
mutual friend, for our love of wellness and well-being.
Mm-hmm.
Now I wanted to pick your brain, and did you want to pick my brain?
Correct. This is just going to be kind of a two-way interview. We're going to be rapping. It's going to be beautiful.
What kind of rap is that? Anyway, moving right along.
Angie, you have an amazing website that is up and running, and I was really quite inspired when I jumped on it. You've broken wellness down to a few different points through travel, through finding harmony, through various different wellness pursuits. Do you want to talk about how you actually came to fruition?
Okay. Well, the idea itself came about, I guess the whole crux behind it all was about my struggle with mental health it was late in my 20s actually. But, so I had a really severe bout of depression and anxiety and had to crawl out of that hole. And it was severe. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't function really. I just had to move home with my parents and start again. And I made it my mission to just find out what got me into that place, how I could get out of it and how I could stay out of it. So I studied, every self-help book. I went to every kind of therapist and healer and tried everything. And bit by bit, gradually, I did come out of it. And one of the things that helped me the most when I was in the thick of it was hearing other people share their story. And I thought if I ever feel like I've got this and I've got something to give back, that I wanted to do the same. So my career at the moment has been in TV, so as a travel presenter on a few different shows.
Excellent.
And I thought, wouldn't it be fantastic if I could combine what I love, as in the mental health and the health and well-being side of things, with what I know how to do. So I came up with a concept for a TV show to start with, and that was Destination Happiness. And then I got talking to our mate Owen, and he said, well, why don't you make it not just a TV show, make it a website and social media and that sort of thing. So I thought, okay, open your mind. So really started with the website, and that's up and running.
Amazing.
Only just, so we're still a work in progress. But the sections within it are Happy Travels, which is all about wellness travel. Happy Eating, so studying, what's good for our body and all the different diet types and cleansing and that sort of thing. Happy bodies, so any kind of movement that just gets you feeling good. We're just going to road test lots of different exercises.
Totally love it.
Happy home, so like this beautiful home of yours, it's got the beautiful energy about it. So how do you create that inviting space that you just want to be in and stay in? What else is there? Happy minds. That's a big one.
Happy minds.
That's a whole segment in itself.
Well, it's a filter in which we see everything.
The whole world, isn't it?
And what struck me when we first got on the phone together was the synchronicity that both of us have had in our journey. You know, obviously it's deviated from time. You know, it's manifested differently for both of us. But I've had, I suppose, anxieties manifest physically for myself. I've had a lot of nervous twitches that have been perhaps some have been socially acceptable, some have been socially a little bit NQR, and I guess the challenge has been for me to understand what they represent to me.
Was that from a young age?
Yeah, it was from a very young age.
And at what stage did you start to look at how can I work with this? What's it teaching me?
I think what happened was I don't think I ever really considered myself a sad or a depressed, whatever you would like to label it, a child, but I definitely dealt with anxiety, and I learned to, I guess, deal and function in a day-to-day society around school kids and my peers and all that type of stuff. And then once I kind of moved into my profession, which is the health and fitness world, I became fascinated by what the human body could do. And then my natural tendency and interests gravitated towards that mind-body relationship. And through my study into the mind-body relationship, I really, really started to tap into what my body was doing and the whys of why it was doing it. And it was a fascinating journey for me. It still is an incredibly fascinating journey.
Yes, and when you talk about that mind-body connection, I actually listened to one of your podcasts, which was very fascinating, about the Iceman that you just...
Ooh, Wim Hof.
Oh my gosh.
Just do it, yeah?
What an experience. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, Wim's an incredibly charismatic bloke. And the thing I love about Wim is, I mean, you know, he's got all of his... physical pursuits, he's broken 25 plus records, and that's all great, but he's the first person to really acknowledge that is all smoke and mirrors. Really, the reason he does these is to prove to the world that your mind-body relationship is it when it comes to what you're capable of. And I guess a human being like him was so... He had such a conviction to be able to achieve this result for decade after decade. He was told he was a crazy man.
Really?
And yeah, absolutely, like nuts, should be in a mental asylum.
Wow.
And he had this pursuit, and he knew there was this burning fire within him that he knew he needed to share this with the world and change modern medicine the way we see it. And to his credit, he's just... He's changing the medical textbooks. It's incredible to be able to be injected with a bacteria and by only using the power of your mind, reverse the effects of it.
Oh my God.
He's proving to the world that the autonomic nervous system that we all believed functioned quote unquote without will is now not the case.
Wow, what an eye-opener for you to experience that firsthand. And I heard you talking about he can sit in an ice bath and actually raise his body temperature with the power of his mind.
It was incredible.
Did you walk away being able to do that?
What did I do? I will tell you, like after I did that interview with him, and then I sat in an ice bath under his supervision for about, I don't know, I think it was about 10, 12 minutes.
Oh my God.
And it was bloody cold outside as well. And as I was sitting there, we happened to be outside in Anglesey, which was in June, July, which was pretty damn cold to begin with. but there was a fire going on in the background, just a bonfire.
Just to tease you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what I attempted to do was tap into that bonfire and the heat of that fire and try and channel it almost within. Oh yeah, it felt like I wasn't hooked up to anything, but I definitely was able to. I found that being surrounded by such an extreme sensation like cold and ice, it was able to create mindfulness to such an extent that your mind couldn't deviate. There was no choice for it to just be on the task immediately.
Well, the fact that you could stay in an ice bath for any more than 10 seconds tells you it's all about the power of the mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. It was really, really cool. Where are you planning on traveling like over the next little while?
Look, we're sort of in pre-production with the TV show side of things, so we're just researching all the wellness destinations around Australia to start with, and then hopefully overseas.
Oh, I'm actually going to Queensland, Northern Queensland next week.
Are you going to a health retreat?
I'm not, but I am going to Northern Queensland. I'm going to be there for 9 weeks, so we'll talk maybe.
9 weeks?
9 weeks, sorry, 9 days, 9 nights, 9 nights, 9 weeks,
dreams.
yeah, right. 9 nights, so I'm going to go explore some wellness.
Oh, yeah. Film some stuff for us.
Yeah, I totally will.
That'd be great.
I totally will.
I'd love to go and experience Gwingana or Golden Door or Gaia Retreat, all those ones. See, we've got people in the different categories. We've got an expert in each category. Because I'm not an expert in anything, I said, I'll do the travel part. I'll do the happy travels. If no one else wants to do it, I'll do it.
Shame.
Lucky I'm not an expert, hey. So I'm an expert. Well, I'm not an expert, but I do travel a lot with the work I do anyway. I work on a show at the moment called What's Up Down Under.
Amazing.
Which is Channel 10.
Fantastic.
Caravan and camping all around Australia.
Awesome. I think I have a friend that is working on that as well. Candy Hurts.
Ooh.
I just know.
Candy, is she about to steal my job?
No, I don't know. Actually, I just dropped a name and I have no idea whatsoever if she's actually working on that.
It could be news to me.
I don't know. It was a long time ago. Anyway.
Now, where were we heading with all this? Now, what fascinates me is because you got to do the whole India experience. It was meditation for me was what really it gave me a foundation that once I'd sort of studied all that self-help, the tools, and then I found meditation, I thought, this is what I need to know that I can deal with the harder times in life. If I can meditate regularly, I know I can. It's like it gives you a little bit of a distance between your reaction in the moment, don't you find?
Oh, totally.
And my dream was to go to India and do that, but we've got 2 children now, and I think that time will come. But
absolutely,
taking to a 9 and a 7-year-old to India to meditate, it's just not going to fly right now.
Maybe not right now, but it's amazing how, we were talking earlier about creating peace in a peaceful environment and then creating peace in a chaotic environment.
Yes.
And, there's no greater place than India to be able to have those two parallels. I was meditating for months on top of a mountain in Dharamsala, surrounded by Tibetan monks, but then bringing it back down to Delhi, where you are, like, personal space is just not an option.
Wow.
So, like, creating...
Were you able to transition?
I was, and, it definitely was a process, but it just teaches you compassion, empathy, and all the principles I learnt through these meditation techniques and these courses, these meditation workshops that I did up in Dharamsala at Tushita Meditation Institute they empowered me so unbelievably. And I think, you were talking about the actual meditation itself being able to prime you to deal with scenarios that are challenging.
Whatever, because you just don't know what life's going to throw at you day to day.
Absolutely. It just gives you a moment to kind of step back and give you perspective and just kind of go, okay, I'm going to not freak out in what they call in meditation, the meditation world, monkey mind, jumping from one place to another.
Yes.
I'm just going to take a moment, have a mindful pause and put things into perspective.
Yes. What would you say your go-to meditation is? What's your favourite?
Oh, just shamatha, which is single-minded focus. Simplicity, for me, is always best. So to be able to concentrate on a single object for a period of time, which can extend.
So for people who have never heard of shamatha, how would you explain that if they were to try it?
So shamatha really translates thereabouts from Sanskrit to English into single-minded focus, and to be able to achieve shamatha, you just focus on a single object. I often use breath being that object, and you simply close your eyes, get into a position where you are comfortable. Generally speaking, spine should be straight and upright, and you concentrate on that single object, and then the challenge comes in not to judge when inevitably your mind is going to stray.
100%. Just bringing yourself back to that focus, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I mean, when you're starting out too, I read an analogy. It's like if you've planted a seedling and you really need to nurture it when you're starting out. You've really got to just be kind to yourself and know that it might feel hard. Your mind might feel so busy, but any meditation is good meditation. That's what I
absolutely
find. Yeah.
Oh, without doubt.
You can sit there for half an hour and your mind can be the whole time, but still when you come out of it, it's still going to be yeah, that's why I do that.
Absolutely. And I think people that first sit down and begin meditating, they'll be like, oh, this is too difficult for me.
I can't still my mind.
I can't still my mind. Well, A, you're putting way too much pressure on yourself, and B, the very essence and the fact that you are aware that your mind is darting around the place, that is an aspect of and an element of self-awareness that a lot of us don't have. So someone that, goes to meditate, falls asleep for half an hour, wakes up, and they're like, all right, that's something, but you don't have that aspect of self-awareness to be able to say, my mind is doing this, my mind is doing that. So ultimately, I suppose if there is a destination to achieve, it's to get to the gap between your thoughts.
Yes.
But for many of us, it's not. It's the what's that saying I've been told from time to time. It's not the pursuit of happiness, it's the happiness of pursuit.
I like that. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's just, enjoy the ride.
Now tell me, I turned 42 the other day, like 2 days ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I made it. But I thought to myself, right, I've made it this far, and it feels like that went like that. 42 years went like that. And I thought if I want to go through the next 42 years, I need to start paying more. Yeah, and then some. I need to pay more attention to my actual body. I've been studying my mind for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And I've been not too bad with the health side of things, but it's like this year I need to know what's going on, what I need to do to stay strong, physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. But with your fitness background and health background, what's a great starting point?
I think an excellent starting point is meditation.
That's the only one I've got covered.
Great. So you're covered. That's an excellent starting point. The reason I say meditation is because every single one of us are unique, incredible, amazing beings on this earth, and to be able to jump on the internet and download a MP3 saying this 7-minute ab busting workout is going to be the way that it's going to, the key to happiness for every person on the face of this earth. I mean, it's not the case, because we need to have that element of self-awareness to be able to tap in to what makes us as an individual thrive. Then you need the vocabulary, the professional vocabulary, to be able to apply to that. But if you can have that awareness to be able to say, I enjoy this form of exercise. B, I feel like I'm getting something constructive out of it. And C, I'm just like I'm looking better. I'm feeling better. I'm doing all of these things that is helping me serve myself. They're going to be amazing things. So
yeah. I just want to feel strong. I'm not like really trying to lose weight as such. It's like I just want to feel like my body's in great condition, and I haven't felt that for quite a while.
No, look. One thing I will say, so self-awareness is an excellent platform to leverage off. But that being said, obviously there are certain things that you can do that can really, really ensure that you are taking the right steps towards a healthy vessel. And one is movement, whatever type of movement.
So whatever you're drawn to,
Whatever
works for your personality. So.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because gyms don't really pull me towards it.
Something tells me you'd be more of a nature.
You are so right.
Hiking.
All I tend to do is walk with my girlfriends and chit chat. Walk around the river. That's my exercise at the moment. But I think I should be doing more like weightlifting.
So if you want to do some more resistance work, I mean, there's no reason why you can't do that out in nature. There's no reason why you can't get in, like, at the risk of, I'm just thinking laterally, get in touch with your inner child, start climbing trees and lifting up rocks and
is that move nat? Is that
yeah. So he's wonderful. There's like movement is a very big movement right now. It sounds funny that human movement is now a thing because it's probably the most natural thing we can do. But people
all tend to be a little bit more inside on devices. Is that what you think the change is, or?
Definitely. I think that, with the advent, it's an incredible time to celebrate technology in today's day and age. The very fact that we can sit here and do this after trying 45 different social
avenues of technology,
and we still are pumping out an interview. That's pretty cool.
And my phone hasn't died. The battery hasn't died. That'll be the next thing to happen.
Not yet.
It was meant to be.
So I think the fact that we can celebrate technology, it just means I feel like we're kind of at this point where we're at this prepubescent stage of technology where we're kind of like, we've found this thing and we're just like, it's so exciting. We're going to just continuously play with it over and over.
And we don't know its limits. And
we haven't matured yet.
Yes.
So we don't know its limits, but I think in time and with awareness, we'll learn to kind of have it work in conjunction with our natural movements.
And know that we should only probably look at it for maybe half an hour and then put it away.
Absolutely.
I'm guilty of,
Yeah, I mean, look, we
checking my phone all the time.
I mean, we all are, and there are little hacks that you can use to reduce the negative, associations with using your phones. For example, I think everyone's guilty of using their phones and computers before they go to sleep.
And that can't really be good for your brain, can it? When you're trying to wind down and you've got this device flashing in your face.
Well, it's
not ideal, is it?
Well, scientifically, it's proven that it's the worst thing you could possibly do. It's like the one thing that will assure you a terrible night's sleep.
And you're not even meant to have it beside your bed, are you?
No.
What is it, the magnetic...
So the EMFs, I have EMF blockers.
What's an EMF?
Electromagnetic.
Right. And you've got a blocker?
I've got blockers on my phones. I've got blockers.
How do you do that?
You can buy them. I'll
show me on my phone. Is it an app or?
No. They're little things that you can place on them, and you can also get. You can get. Yeah, there are definitely. It's amazing what's out there. So you can get these types of things, but also there's actually a function on the iPhone that's right there.
Save my brain from frying option. Oh, that one.
It's a blue light minimizer. So blue lights is essentially the type of light that the sun emits when you wake up, and it stimulates serotonin and cortisol and all these chemicals in your brain. It's saying, wake up, enjoy the day, be productive. But when the sun goes down, melatonin is produced, and it's saying, chill, Winston.
Calm down, people.
Chill out, let your body mend for the day. Get into it. So we confuse the body when we've got all these bright lights on. We're watching TV whilst our iPad's in one hand and our iPhone's in the other.
Guilty.
Like we all are. But you do what you can, and if you have these little kind of cheats to be able to achieve a greater biological outcome, why not use them, eh?
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
My little bedtime routine, I can't get past a Radox bath.
Oh, it's the best.
Do you have a bath?
I actually love baths. So this place, yeah,
I can't believe hardly anyone has baths anymore. Do you
I am-
find that? I have one. I probably have one every day if I could, but most weeknights.
oh yeah. I'm all over the bars. Most people know that, like, when I was looking for my place to buy, everyone would like go looking if they were looking for a place to buy as well. They'd look and they'd look around and they'd look in the bathroom. There was no bath. They go, Paul wouldn't be interested.
Paul's not going to buy this place.
Honestly, in terms of criteria,
Two in my house now.
do you?
In
That's
the
amazing.
ensuite now, we're
Oh,
just
that's
renovating.
amazing.
So.
I prioritize the bath over a roof in my place. I'm like,
Oh my God, we are kindred spirits. Because, and I'm shocked that people, they look at me like, what, do you have time for a bath? How do you fit in a bath? Like, that is my time. For me, the
Exactly.
kids are going to bed, my husband's watching the football on the telly, and I go,
absolutely.
oh, this is so good, and I read a book, or maybe I'll do a bit of my work on
And-
my phone.
Amen. And and since when should you ever feel guilty for being able to take some time out,
Yep.
recharge the batteries,
Yep.
and unwind? And it's the best thing to do before you go to sleep as well, being able to rest.
And bottom line, why stand up when you can sit down?
Absolutely.
Bottom line.
Well, standing and versus sitting for long periods of time is another whole kettle of fish that we can discuss at a later day.
Oh yes. With your bath here,
Yes,
since you've come back from the Wim Hof thing, have you filled it full of ice?
many times.
You really have.
Oh yeah. I love heat. I love hot, but I also challenge my biology with cold because
Wow.
you know.
That's dedicated.
Yeah. I go down to the old servo down the road, and
You really do.
I do. I buy 4 bags of ice.
And did your fiance do it too?
No. She thinks I'm
You
a
pick her up
madman.
and dunk her in?
Pretty much thinks I'm a madman, but that's okay.
That's an interesting
She
thing,
just sits there
actually.
like this.
Is she on the same spiritual, healthy path that you are?
She is open to many different things. She's by no means as self-experimental as I am, but like via osmosis, she kind of learns
picks
this,
it all up.
this, that, and the other. What about
A
your
bit
partner?
like my husband. No, I don't know. When I meet people that are in the same sort of into it as much as I am, I feel like it's always come from a place of trauma in some way, or some life-changing moment that used to say there's more to life than what's going on, and it makes you go soul searching a little bit more. So I suppose, he loves that I do it, and he's very encouraging. But getting him to sit down and meditate, that's a challenge.
Sure.
He's a busy man. Things to do.
Sure. And you know what? Like, I would never thrust something onto my fiance if I could see that perhaps there's a particularly stressful time in her week or whatever it might be. I might suggest that we sit down and do a meditation just to kind
And
of
she
like.
would do that.
Yeah, she has in the
That's
past.
good.
Yeah, and that's been really, really advantageous and productive, which is awesome. Like I said, she's open, which is
Can
great.
you tell me about this beautiful house? And you've got
Yep.
this amazing energy going on. Do you consciously do that, or is it? Can I just flash it
Yes,
around?
go ahead.
It's just got a lovely feel to it, and I love the indoor plants. And it's got a gorgeous view out here. But more than anything, it's just got a lovely feel, and I always think that's a reflection of the people living in it and what they do in it.
Well, look,
Do
we
you consciously do it?
definitely. Well, the first thing I did when I walked into this place was burnt sage and just cleared out the energy.
Can you tell people that don't necessarily know what that means? Would you be able to explain what that does?
Yeah, sure. I mean, just historically, I think burning sage, just like I said, I'm not all that of an authority on burning sage, but I have been told that is an excellent way of clearing out any energies that hung around here. And if you want to kind of start afresh and have your new energy present in this house, and it's just a wonderful way to kind of start
Yes.
afresh.
Actually, I did the same thing, and it's new to me as well. I'm learning all about this stuff, but we moved into a house that's an 1890s
Oh,
house,
right, yeah.
and every now and then, quite regularly, the TV would just turn on in the middle of the night.
Wow.
And I thought, I think something's going on. So I spoke to my friend who knew more about it. She said, get yourself a stage stick. Is that no?
Sage stick.
Sage
Yeah.
stick.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Proper cup of coffee and a proper cup of coffee. And she said, walk around the room saying a mantra, which I used to say, Om Namah Shivaya. I turn to the higher self. Do you use that one?
I have used it in the past, yeah.
Anyway, so go to every corner of the room, under beds, in the wardrobes. And this stuff is potent, isn't it? It actually smells a bit like marijuana, to be honest. And then when you're at the end, you've done it all, then she said, open all the doors and windows and say, okay, it's time for you to leave if you would like to leave my house in the nicest possible way. And I did that, and then the TV never came back on again.
Wow.
So, you know.
There you go. Coincidence? Perhaps. Perhaps not. Who knows? But I love, whether science can explain these types of things or not. I'm not particularly interested in it.
No.
I'm just interested in it creating a
And the
more
effect.
meaningful experience, personal experience in my
Me
life.
too.
And it's obviously doing the same for you.
Yeah.
I want to keep going and I want to keep talking, but I have
But
another...
because I mucked you around with all my shenanigans.
No, you didn't. But I'm just loving this conversation so much. Maybe we can do a part two of it.
Part two.
'cause
Once the show's up and running.
I would love to. I would so love to, because
Yeah.
I have so many questions to ask you as well. I wanted to talk to you about your travels and but just tell me really quickly, what is the number one destination you want to travel to, and let's put it out into the universe and see if it comes.
Lordy mama. Well, do you know what? I love, this sounds pretty... I loved the Vatican City. I've been there once before, and I felt like I was just getting goosebumps, and I don't know, I just love holy places or spiritual places. It doesn't matter what religion or spirituality it is. I just I'm so drawn to them.
Yeah.
So anywhere spiritual for me, but also anywhere that I can just go like that and get pampered and
Absolutely.
massaged and fed well and exercise a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, look, amazing. I agree.
thank you so much for having me. I've loved
Thank
picking
you.
your brain, and I've got a million more questions for you too. So there's definitely part two.
100%. There's a part two.
Stay tuned.
We'll get the technology up and running.
I might have a slightly better quality, maybe better sound quality, visual.
Yeah, it's
I'll get
fun.
the soft focus lens happening.
iPhone 6 is great. Hashtag no filter.
Hashtag. That
Thank
shows your age. How old are you?
34.
Yeah, you're young. He's cool. He knows the
Oh,
lingo.
I don't know. The people I work with, I don't know if I would be called young, but that's okay.
See, hang around with me more, and you're in a whole new zone.
35 next week though.
Oh, getting on.
Yes.
Yep,
so-
getting on.
Virgos.
There goes. Yes, and that's a whole another episode.
Well, we've got many episodes in us, I think, Angie.
Fantastic. High five
Thank
to you.
you.
Lovely to
Thanks,
meet
darling.
you, my wellness wish list.
MyWellnessWishlist.com. Check it out.
Destinationhappiness.com. Check
Beautiful.
It out. Hashtag check it out.
Nice.
Thanks.